What was he like a bigger favorite against Chimaev? Like Chimaev knocked this fool out. He's just not proven it yet. Like Warley Alves, who the fuck is that? Phil Hawes, who the fuck is that? How is he in the UFC? Like, what has he done to be in the UFC? He's taking steroids. Like, what is this guy doing in the UFC? And looking at his fights, he looks like he's dog shit. I mean, I don't know what he's even good at. What's up, boys? Back with another quick picks video. Today we're going to be breaking down Robert Whittaker versus Ikram Aliskerov. First fight up, Long Xiao versus Chang Ho Lee. I'd say that this is a pretty low level fight. I'm pretty sure they're not even in the UFC. This is the finale for Road to UFC. It looks like a lot of people, or majority of people, are picking Lee. I'm going to be picking Lee by decision. I think this fight is just decision written all over it, but it's not like a super confident in the decision. But I feel like both of these guys are really tough. But I feel like Lee pushes for better positions more often than not, and I feel like Long, he is just not too technical. He's tough. He'll have good flurries. He'll have good combos, but they're just not that technical. He's not too powerful. He looks a bit slow. I feel like Lee, he can mix in the wrestling. He can stand on the feet. I think he's just better than him everywhere. He was the underdog for the majority of the time, and then he just now flipped to the favorite. But I can see why. Lee just has more heart, I feel like, and just more to give. So my pick is gonna be Lee by decision. Next up, Magomed Gadzhiyasulov versus Brendson Ribeiro. I'd say this is probably my most confident pick. I'm going to be picking Magomed. A lot of people seem to be favoring him. I feel like Ribeiro, he just kind of isn't that technical. He has really long arms. His striking is okay just because he has a lot of power, but he's not too technical. He relies on his reach. Um, but I'd just say Magomed is just better than him everywhere. He's more technical. He's really calm. He'll mix in takedowns if he needs, but he just doesn't really rush for anything. I feel like in his last fight, I believe, yeah, against Jose Medina, that was like a really good performance against a lower level guy, and I feel like Ribeiro is like a lower level guy, not UFC worthy, or maybe he's low UFC level. Um, and Jose Medina might not even be low level UFC worthy, but I feel like what he showed in that fight kind of just showed his skills, and it's a lot better than Ribeiro. I think he can beat him everywhere. I'm really confident in him. I'd say that the finish isn't like super high confidence just because he did go to a decision with Jose Medina, and like it just seemed like he was absolutely just piecing him up the whole time, working in good combos, putting on the pressure, and he still wasn't able to finish him. So if Ribeiro is tough enough, he can survive. I can see him surviving, but um, a lot of his losses are by knockout, and he's kind of like a first round fighter. So I believe Magomed is gonna win by first round knockout. Next up, Muin Gafurov versus Kyung Ho Kang. I'd say you can't trust Gafurov. Like he's just John Castaneda, Jesus Christ. I'd say that he's tough, he's good, he has good cardio, so that loss isn't the worst, and he was looking decent into that. Versus Saeed, that's not nothing to be worrying about because most people are going to lose to him. But the thing against John Castaneda, I feel like he caps out at the level he can be, but Kang, I'd say, is worse than Castaneda, so this is a very winnable fight. Low confidence, but I'm gonna have Gafurov. I feel like I just the things that he was doing against Castaneda impressed me to that he was just pushing the pace and just kept walking forward. Like regardless if he is losing the exchanges or not, I feel like the fact that he has the grit and he'll go for takedowns if he needs to. He'll throw intensity on the feet. Uh, he looks like he has decent power. He has a decent amount of finishes by KO. Kang, in his last fight, he was actually against Castaneda too. He got taken down 3 times, and Castaneda only started to take him down like in the second and third round, which was a little bit too late. Honestly, Castaneda could have just taken him down the whole fight and easily won, and he did easily win. But I'd say Kang is dangerous on the ground. Um, he'll be fine with standing on the feet, but I'd say that if he stands on the feet, I mean honestly, if he's on the feet, it won't be too much of a discrepancy. But I think if it goes to the ground, Muin will be able to um, hold him down or get some good ground and pound. So my pick is gonna be Gafurov by decision. Next up, Rinat Fakhretdinov versus Nicolas Dalby. I'd say the only reason that like I'm not higher on Fakhretdinov is just because he gassed out against Zaleski, and I'd say that Dalby is just a tough motherfucker. Like he will always just keep going. His pressure is really good. He's a veteran in the UFC. He had that uh, comeback win against Gabriel Bonfim, where Gabriel Bonfim was just destroying him in the first round, and then the second round he started to gas out, and then he finished him. I'd say Fakhretdinov gassing out could be something that I'd say that's pretty much the only way Fakhretdinov loses if he gasses out. But I feel like he wasn't really going for too much takedowns against Zaleski. I think he'll be able to get the takedowns against Dalby. I think Dalby will be able to get up, but I think that his wrestling and his wild punches, he has decent power as well. So I feel like Dalby he can win this fight, but I think that it's only if Fakhretdinov just gasses. Um, and my pick is gonna be Fakhretdinov by decision. Next up, Muhammad Naimov versus Felipe Lima. Um, Naimov was supposed to fight somebody else. I forgot who, but he had two different opponents. Lima stepped in on short notice. I feel like Lima is pretty good. He looks technical. The only problem with Lima is that he's a much smaller guy. He's fought at 125 before. This is at 145. He's a 135er that isn't that big. Naimov is strong and powerful, has good power, and he's beaten good guys. I mean, the Malarkey's a bit chinny, and he was losing the first round. I mean, I still think that's a good win, but it's not like super impressive. Nathaniel Wood, I feel like, was a good win. He dug deep, he gritted down, ended up taking the decision win, which I feel like Wood is kind of, I wouldn't say he's underrated, but I feel like I rate him decently. I think that was a really good win. Eric Silva, it says leg injury, but he did crack him before and kind of like hurt him, but he did end up getting injured. I'd say that this is probably it's probably his second in the UFC. I feel like Lima is probably worse than Malarkey, and that was at 155 too. I feel like Naimov is just too big, too strong. Um, he'll be able to have the power advantage, the strength advantage, and I think that he can finish him. But I feel like Lima is good enough cardio and tough enough to survive. So I think that this fight is going to be going to the decision. So my pick is going to be Naimov by decision. Next up, Nasrat Haqparast versus Jared Gordon. Honestly, both of these fighters are pretty similar. I'd say Haqparast is just the better version of Gordon. I feel like he just is better than him everywhere. Most people agree with me. Um, he does have losses to Bobby Green where he got pieced up, and Gordon before he got the no contest headbutt KO'd by Bobby Green. He was beating him on the feet, in my opinion. Dan Hooker, I wouldn't say that's too bad of a loss. But I feel like they fought in similar guys. They're similar fighters, but Haqparast is just is it Haqparast? Haqparast is just better than him everywhere, or just a little bit better than him everywhere. I like his striking. I like his combos. I like his intensity. He puts up good numbers. I think this fight is going to go to decision, and my pick is going to be Haqparast by decision. Coming into the main event, Johnny Walker versus Volkan Oezdemir. I think this is a close fight. I think it's hard to say exactly how it's going to go, and that's why it makes it like harder to bet on. I feel like Oezdemir, he has fought in the better guys. If you look at his record, Prochazka, Ankalaev. Actually, they fought in similar. They both fought Ankalaev and both lost. They both fought Krylov. Um, both of them lost by decision. Krylov is pretty underrated to be fair, but Walker is really explosive. He's really fun to watch. And his last win against Anthony Smith, he kind of was gun shy. I feel like he would throw like explosive strikes, but he had him hurt. Wasn't really going for the finish. He's fine with just standing on the outside. It seems like he's more fine with standing on the outside and just getting his shots in. Oezdemir, I feel like he does have power. I mean, his nickname is No Time, and he does have some really good wins. Uh, Bogdan, I'd say that the win against him isn't too impressive because Oezdemir is just a way more proven guy than him, and Walker's way better than Bogdan. But I'd say this is a close one, not too confident. I think this is gonna be a striking matchup, but Oezdemir can get the takedowns. So for those reasons on the submission game, takedowns, being being more experienced, I'd say, and fighting better guys and having good wins, I'd say my pick is gonna be Oezdemir by knockout in the second round. Next up, Shara Magomedov versus Antonio Trócoli. I honestly don't know how Trócoli. How is he in the UFC? Like, what has he done to be in the UFC? And I like his no contest against some no name. Like, he's taking steroids. Like, what is this guy doing in the UFC? Dana White said you're not in the UFC because oh, we were not going to take you in the UFC because you're taking steroids or he failed for a test. How is he in the UFC? What? And looking at his fights, he looks like he's dog shit. I mean, I don't know what he's even good at. Like, let's go on his 3 wins by knockout, 5 wins by submission, 4 decisions. I mean, I don't know. Who is he? He's not fought anybody good. He's not proven at all. Shara is he. I'm sure he has a ceiling. He's one-eyed, but I'd say that he's just way better than him on the feet and on the ground. Even if Trócoli can take him down, uh, Shara will just do enough to win on bottom. Like his bottom game, he's not necessarily like looking for a way up, but like he'll be throwing strikes the whole time, and he'll I don't know. I feel like he's just better than him on the feet to the point where Trócoli has to take him down, and if he doesn't, then he's just gonna probably get knocked out. Um, and I feel like he will just be fine with standing on the feet. He doesn't look too fast. He used to be 170, and he's fighting at 205. Now he's dropping down to 185. But how do you go from 170? Let's take a deeper look on when he actually did it. Um, what is it? 170. When was his last 170 fight? 2016, and then in 2016 to 18, in 2 years, maybe hold up. In 2 years, he bulked up to 205, filled in, jacked. Tell me this guy wasn't on steroids the whole time? Like, come on now. How I don't know how he's in the UFC. He's gonna get. I think he gets knocked out. Honestly, Shara is clean. He's explosive. He has really good. He's really technical, and I mean, he's definitely a prospect. I guess we'll see where he comes to, but honestly, this is gonna be. I think this is a really easy fight. This is probably my most confident pick. Shara by knockout in the second round. Next up, Kelvin Gastelum versus Daniel Rodriguez. Ah, man, it's just so hard to trust Gastelum. Like, I feel like his loss against Sean Brady, I was like pretty confident, not pretty confident, but I was decently confident against Sean Brady. He looks like shit, gets taken out a bunch. That was his move down to 170, and then he missed. He couldn't even make 170, had to move it up to 185. Daniel Rodriguez, though, on the other hand, he is a striker that isn't too good. He can get taken down. He does look decently clean, and he has a Jing Lang Lee. That's a decent win. Kevin Lee is okay. I mean, he has decent power. There's no way he's knocking out a fridge head like freaking Gaslam. Um, I feel like the competition that Gastelum has fought, there's just like if he loses to Daniel Rodriguez, then you're just washed. Like just stop fighting. Um, I think that he can use his wrestling. He can win on the feet. I'd say that he wins everywhere, but the confidence just can't be too high just because Gastelum is just. It's almost like he has to win this fight. He should win this fight, but is he? I don't know. I think I have like low medium confidence in Gaslam. I think he's a decision berg fighter. Rodriguez has some finishes, but I don't know. I feel like him being able to get taken down and not being the cleanest, being knocked out. I'd say that you have to pick Gaslam. I don't know how you pick Rodriguez in this fight, but my pick is gonna be Gaslam by decision. Now to the co-main event. Sergei Pavlovich versus Alexander Volkov. The Ruskies going at it. This is a fun one. I feel like both of them are entertaining. I really like Volkov. Pavlovich just finishes fools in the first round. A lot of people are picking Pavlovich. Honestly, I feel like the odds are a bit doing Volkov dirty just because he, I think, is the better fighter all around. He's more technical everywhere. Um, he's really big, really tall, uses his size, uses his grappling, his wrestling. But I feel like just the power that Pavlovich has, he's putting guys down that are big, like Tai Tuivasa, Derek Lewis. That's a nothing to win. Curtis Blades was an impressive one. His loss against Tom Aspinall, I feel like Tom Aspinall is probably the best heavyweight right now, so that's not a knock on him. He got knocked out by Overeem too, but that was a while ago, and I don't know. I feel like Volkov has been knocked out by Derek Lewis when he was just winning, so I feel like he isn't chinny necessarily, but I feel like that is more of his kryptonite. And I feel like in heavyweight, it doesn't really matter. Skill does not matter too much. It's just about power and fucking hell, explosivity. Jeez, I can't even speak. But not it doesn't take too much skill to win fights, and even at the top level of heavyweight I feel like it is so much lower level, like skill wise, technique wise, and everything than other divisions. So I mean, I don't know, I feel like Pavlovich's power and speed, his speed is really impressive, and he's probably on steroids too, to be fair, because like he's looking fucking massive now. um just that he's got that secret juice. But I don't know. I really like Pavlovich's power and speed. It's kind of hard to knock it, and he's been knocking out everybody in the first round. So my pick is gonna be Pavlovich by first round knockout. Finally, now we're going to the main event: Robert Whittaker versus Ikram Aliskerov. I don't know. I feel like Robert Whittaker is too much of my boy to not pick him and not at least put good money on him, just because he's not faced anybody this low level for how long? Let's take a look. Fought Paulo Costa. Ikram could be better than Paulo Costa, but not. He's not proven that yet. Duplessis champ. Vittori proven. Adesanya was champ. Reigned for a while. Kelvin Gastelum. That's probably the last time that he's fought, and that was in 2021. Not a ridiculous time ago, but destroyed him. Destroyed Cannonier. Till. Maybe he's not destroying him, to be fair, but I don't know. I feel like he's being done dirty with the odds too. Hey, what was he like a bigger favorite against Chimaev? Like Chimaev knocked this fool out. He's not. He doesn't look super clean and technical to me. I mean, other people are saying that he looks clean and technical, but I don't know. He looks good. He's promising, but he's just not proven it yet. Like Warley Alves, who the fuck is that? Phil Hawes, who the fuck is that? He's knocking out all these fools in the first round. What? Yeah, knocking out all these fools in the first round, but like, who is he beating? The one guy that he faced was Chimaev, and he got knocked out. I mean, so is his chin there? Don't know. I don't know. I feel like Whittaker is a decision berg fighter. He honestly is just a top guy, a proven guy. He's been the number one to number. He's been between number one to number three for years. So I mean, he's proven. The downfall might be coming. I don't know. Duplessis wasn't the best sign. Him getting dropped by a jab. But I don't know. Aliskerov looks like he has the power to do something, and he could win. Obviously, anybody can win. And at the higher division, higher weight classes, I feel like power is pretty important. Whittaker looks like he doesn't have too much power, but he definitely has a technique. But Aliskerov might be chinny. Um, I honestly think that Whittaker will be able to even. I don't know. I feel like Aliskerov's way to win is to work in wrestling, get in takedowns, and just have explosive movements. Whittaker, I feel like is gonna be faster than him. His takedown defense is really good, so I don't think that if Aliskerov takes him down, I don't think he's gonna hold him down. Um, I'm just liking Whittaker everywhere. I feel like he'll beat him on the feet. He's gonna be quicker than him. He'll probably have less power, but you know what? I feel like I'm gonna be favoring him by finish, so my pick is gonna be Whittaker by second round knockout. And that's gonna be my quick picks breakdown. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna be trying to get some graphics in, so it's a little bit different, not just Tapology. But yeah, over the time, I'm gonna be trying to get better, make better videos for you guys. Thanks for watching.